Hello gamers, it is Mew and welcome back to another video. Today I'll be talking about creating a Genshin inspired story. If you're familiar with my channel, my work, and everything already, you may know that I have four main stories: Kingdoms, Keiko Kuromiya, Cosmic Representations, and Hybrid High. However, I've long admired to have a story kind of like Genshin, where all the elements are a significant part to the story and the lore. And I do technically have a story that already has like the elements, like more than one. Now that I think about it, but the one that I'm mostly thinking about, Kingdoms, by the way, that does have pre-existing lore, so I decided I'd just start off this like Genshin inspired story and character designs with something fresh and new, just so I can have more creative freedom and I'm not bound to the rules of Kingdoms. So I might change my mind and say, fuck it, I'm gonna put this back into Kingdoms. But for now, this is different from Kingdoms. Now, how I came about with this idea is that I have been putting together an art portfolio very gradually, trying to fill out the character design portfolio more specifically, and I wanted to put like start to finish character designs in my character design portfolio. So I decided, or not really decided, more like I was just doodling stuff in my sketchbook, and I drew a water-based goddess, and I was like, this is interesting. What if I did two more? Let's do a water goddess, a nature god, and we'll do a fire goddess. And yeah, let's start off with the water girl. Just give me a second. Obviously, the water goddess was the one I came up with first. I named her Sephara first. I don't remember what compelled me to name her that, but I was just like doing shit. Nothing crazy, just like doodling stuff. I do like the side ponytail, it is cute. But yeah, like the first sketch was just kind of just drawing shit, nothing crazy. I do kind of like the water bracelet thing though. The next round of sketches were more thought out, and I thought more about the character. I renamed her to Morgan. Obviously, as you know, she's a water goddess. I decided I would make her Irish, and in Genshin, if you don't know, they all the different like nations, like archons, aka like gods, basically, they all have like different beliefs and ideals. And for Morgan, I made hers peace. um I explored a couple different ideas. I was looking at like traditional clothing in Ireland, and then I think the one other dress I made, I think that was inspired by like Irish dance dresses or something. Or maybe it was more like a modernized version of like the old timey like Irish dress. Oh no, the top one is inspired by a dance dress. I'm not sure what the bottom one was. And for the hair, like I did try like kind of rounded shapes to make you think of water, and then I tried something like short, but like with like it looks more like regular hair, I guess. And then I did some more experiments with hair, trying to think like what are different ways that I can like do hair. I did like this wavy thing. I did hair that's like wavy, and then I put it in a bun and like a little braid. I did this hairstyle where the ends are like split ends, because like sometimes like the ocean has like that white stuff. I don't even know what that's called, but I was like trying to do that. Obviously, that's like my least favorite. I did something similar to the wave one, except I just made it less of like a weird side hair thingy and like made it like like a bun and then sort of like a ponytail, but not really. I guess it's more like parted to the side. Did a cute bob. Tried some like just long hairstyles in general and played around with like bangs. Um, and then I revisited the outfit again. Um, I think this time, I'm not sure if I was inspired by dance dresses or step dresses or something. But at some point, even though this is a character that's a water goddess, I was looking at ice skater dresses for some reason, and I was like taking inspiration from that. Like they got like their short skirts, like this sparkly details. Um, I think for the top one, I don't think I was looking at any particular references. I was just doing shit, just making it look all watery, but I don't think I did that as well as I wanted to. The bottom one was like more focused. I think I was also looking at for the live action Avatar. I think the cast members went to some kind of event, and forgive me if I'm pronouncing her name wrong, but Kiwentio, I think that's how you pronounce it. Kiwentio like wore this like beaded corset to this event thingy, and like I don't know, I thought that was pretty, so I was inspired by that, and like I made this like kind of like a long swirly wave thing, and then the other sleeve is like just like see-through sparkly. Um and then yeah, I decided I would do this like wave dress with like the sparkles and like uh the little like thing around her waist and stuff. I chose that for the outfit, and then I decided that the curly hair would be cool. And then I also experimented with just like some like chibi poses, one where she's just, arm up in the air, another one. I feel like one of these was like inspired by like ballet stuff, and then I don't know the inspiration behind the top one, but then I drew out like the whole body and stuff. Like obviously like the design, the hair and the dress, I drew that. But then I also like just like drew the pose in my regular style, just kind of figuring out like what does like her face look like? What do her eyes look like? And then I also just like made notes for myself on what I do for the final. And like for that, like in the final, I tried to make her pose not so stiff. Um, and then I gave her hair like this water. I tried to make it look more like water, or the ocean, water, the ocean. That's the same thing. Yeah. I don't have anything else to say about the final. It is really cute. If I were to revisit this, might I don't. What would I change? I don't know. I feel like the legs look really like unnaturally weird, and also I don't think I'm happy with the sandals anymore. They look kind of silly. I wanted them to look like waves, but I probably should have just done just normal sandals, maybe with like pearls or something. Um, she is still very cute though. As for Morgan's lore, nothing crazy. All I really had in mind, like, it's mostly what I said earlier, but also, I thought, like, considering the elements, she's the goddess of water. Water is very beneficial to nature most of the time. Not when it's like flooding, but for the most part, like water is very beneficial to nature. So I decided her and the god of nature um are they're either dating or they're best friends. I still can't decide even after I like pitched like told people about the idea. Like I don't know. No one really gave their own thoughts on if they should be besties or dating. So I'll figure it out someday. Next is the fire deity. Um at first I named her Fire, I've done a similar thing where I've done eyelashes to mimic fire. You got the hair that's like standing up, and I put her in armor, but I wasn't vibing with this because I feel like this was basically just Murata. The Yeah, I felt like it was just basically Murata from Genshin again, like because like she's a war goddess or a goddess of war or something like that. I think I don't know. Genshin lore is like kind of funky, but for her, uh, just felt too generic. Didn't feel like it was anything interesting. And I'm also like the name Fire, like really, wow, that's the most boring name I could ever come up with. God, my voice cracks are so bad. I'm so sorry. I was like sick like Monday, and I'm not really sick anymore. I still have a cough and like a slightly stuffy nose, and my voice is still fucked up. Anyway, did some revising and some thinking. I renamed her Denora. Obviously, she's the fire goddess, and I was thinking, well, in Greek mythology, Hestia is kind of associated with fire. She's the goddess of the hearth, she's keeping the eternal flame alive and stuff, Um, and then I chose to make her like inspired by Costa Rican outfits. So I was looking at Costa Rican like their like folkwear like dress stuff. I was looking at that. Um and I was also like making the ends of the fabric like kind of ragged, I guess, because like fire. Um I also tried like experimenting with the side profile, and then I made a fire inspired hairstyle, but it's like not pointing straight up. I mean, that could be fun. I do like the idea of that, but I think not for Denora. It doesn't fit her, And then I also just like did a fire study. It's not a great study, but it's a study. Um, I went back. I think, yeah, I think Morgan. I just like completely finished doing all the concepts before I did concepts for the others. For Denora, I decided I would not decide like the facial features later. I would do it earlier. So, I don't know how to even describe the face shape, so I'm not going to. I want to give her more like visible lips. Um, Trying to do fire inspired eyelashes, but doing it a little bit differently because I do have another OC where I've done the same thing. For her dress, I made the sleeves kind of like, I think it would be kind of called, I think it's like bell sleeves or something like that. I also gave her this little necklace, and I decided she should have like a fire looking headband. And I did draw flames on the dress though. Um, I don't remember if I like that. And then I experimented with the pose, like I've seen like poses like with those like big, those like Costa Rican like dancer dresses, like they like are holding the fabric up in the air because those dresses are like they can be kind of huge. Um, there's one where she's just like turning around, one where she's dancing when she's bowing a little bit. I decided uh I did try to like look at the bowing one. I did like draw that fully, but I wasn't into it. And then I also realized like the big hair wasn't working for Denora because like, she already has like the flame looking dress, so it would just like kind of make her a blob. So I decided to just cut her hair down so the dress would be clearer. And instead of doing the bowing pose, I did the one where she's like looking off to the side. And I also decided that I would not be doing the Guy Fieri looking flames on her dress. For the hair though, I did do something similar. where it's like mostly red, but has like orange and yellow, so it looks flame adjacent. Would it? I don't know if it would be actual flames, but you know. So Denora's whole story, actually, let me pull it up. Actually, I'm gonna look her up in my notes real quick because I haven't really written it anywhere. Okay, I didn't even mention this anywhere for some reason, but for Denora, her whole thing, obviously, uh, her ideal is eternity. She's a goddess of the hearth, so you know, trying to keep that eternal hearth alive. Except the twist is she is like dying of some illness. I haven't even figured it out, but she's dying of an illness. But she's like still like believing that like everything is like eternal. So yeah, that's kind of her story, and also Morgan and the god of nature. I won't reveal his name until the end. They actively hate her, so she's the odd one out in this trio. Because like Morgan and the god of nature, they're either besties or dating, but Denora is the odd one out. They don't like her because like you know she's, even if like she's not really a destructive character, like fire does not really jive very well with water, and it doesn't really jive well with nature because it can still be pretty destructive. And also, I forgot to mention this, but for Morgan, she's also believed to be like really silly, but she's actually super like serious and elegant. So that's another bit of Morgan character stuff. I haven't thought out um like the characters all that much because I was very focused just on like the design aspect for this. Okay, so here is the nature god. His name is, I think I keep spelling it Kusama, but I think it's supposed to be Kusuma with a U. Let me just make sure. Yes. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Kusuma. So everyone has like specific like deity titles. Morgan is goddess of the hearth. No, actually, sorry. Morgan is goddess of oceans. Denora is goddess of the hearth. Kusuma is the god of flowers. So I think I came up with this design like sometime like pretty quickly after the one for Morgan. And the base design like on its own is like pretty good. Like the braided hair with the bun and the flower and then this long coat. Love that. I like that. I did a similar thing with Morgan, but that was to too similar of silhouettes, so you know. But I did, for even from the beginning I decided I want them to have this like bun and then like long hair on the side thing kind of matching. I did uh, uh like with this hair that I came up in the first place. It was cute, but like I don't know, something felt off. So I was like trying to like figure out the bangs, and then I also like just drew like his hair down just for fun. I did also try like this like, I don't know, like eyelash thing with eyebrows. I tried them, not eyebrows. And then I also tried like rounded eyelashes too. And then I tried more hairstyles. I even tried to ditch the bun. I don't really care for the bunless ones. They look so off. And then I tried one with like crazy bangs, but that also looks weird. And then after more thinking, I came up with this one, which finally is, here's something that I'm into. For this version, I also lengthened the coat. He no longer has pants. He kind of wears this skirt-like thingy. Oh, and also, I haven't mentioned his inspiration, but he is inspired by... God, it's probably bad that I can't remember exactly. He's inspired, like, the region he's from is inspired by like Indonesia, right? Um I think he was either inspired by Sundanese or Javanese clothing. I wrote it down somewhere, but I can't find it. But yeah, that's what I was inspired by. It's a pretty heavy inspiration, but colors are different. And then I tested out some poses. He has a peace sign. He's like growing vines, but I love the one where he's blowing a kiss. I don't know. I nailed the energy with that one, and I like the long braid sway, or it's not swaying. I don't know, moving. I think there's a way to like make the movement like really look nice. Then I just like drew the pose in my regular art style, just like troubleshooting. Um, don't I don't didn't really change much between the just like the sketch and the final. I did kind of have trouble like trying to get like a good uh like green. Yeah, I was having trouble with the green shades for a bit because I kept like, I don't know, was having trouble like getting them like shades of green that look good with pink. Felt like it was like kind of hard to figure that out. Oh, and also I've never even drawn the shoes, but he just has like black boots, so nothing crazy. If I definitely have a favorite, and his name is Kusuma. I don't know. He's best. He's the best one. I think he's the best one. Like I said, besties with Morgan. He does not like Denora. And he's kind of the opposite to Morgan because his people believe that he is very serious and elegant, but he's actually just just really into flowers and also just a silly guy. And also, while I was looking at my notes, I realized I forgot that I completely forgot that I did name all their regions. Kusuma is the god of flowers for the kingdom. I'm calling them kingdoms for now, but I might just call them like nations or do something more like Avatar where it's like kingdom, nation, tribe, nomads, yeah. But yeah, Kusuma is from the kingdom of Silastri, Morrigan is from the kingdom of Aegon, and Denora is from the kingdom of Candelaria. Now, I haven't been thinking about these guys as much as I have when I first made them. I still like them. I'm still endeared by them, and I think it would be fun to make the other elements. Genshin has 10, but I'm going to do, or no, sorry. Genshin has 7, but I'm going to do 10. Hold on, what are the elements they have again? Obviously, they got fire, nature, and water, but I'm going to do obviously the other obvious ones: earth, ice, lightning, and wind. So that's 7. So what am I missing? Snow, light, and darkness. Okay, yeah, that's what I'm missing. So I'll also do a snow, light, and darkness nation too. I think that would be fun to just like make those guys and figure out their lore. I haven't been thinking very much about this world because like I feel like I'm not sure what I want the story to be. Like I don't want to do Genshin exactly where it's like, "Oh, my twin is gone. I got to find them." Like I don't know. But I might make a whole different character. I might just just steal Kasuma and make him the protagonist. I don't know. I don't know. I think this is something that could be very fun to explore, but it is just that. It is for fun. Unlike with a lot of my other stories where I'm doing things with them and I'm like actively planning out, I'm going to do this, this, and this with them. with this story. Doesn't even have a name. It's just that Genshin inspired story I'm doing. Like, I'm just having fun. I'm just playing around, you know? But I would be interested in hearing, like, your guys' suggestions on, like, stuff that I could consider doing. You know, like, I would like to design all the other gods and think about the other ideals and nations and stuff. But, like, I don't know. What other characters could we put in this world? You know? Uh, but yeah. This is my Genshin inspired story, and these are the 3 characters I made, who are mostly just supposed to be for my portfolio, but I still really like them, and I want to do more stuff with them, and I'd be interested in doing more and figuring out this world, you know? So, I think that's about it for this video. I hope you liked it. I hope my voice wasn't too, like, grating on your ears. Yeah, please subscribe to my Patreon for more stuff if you want to support me and stuff. I also have commissions open. I made a whole video about my commissions being open. I hope to explore this world more. I'd love to hear you guys' suggestions. Maybe I'll do something kind of like what Ginger Ninja OWO was doing, where they made a whole sketchbook exploring their story. Maybe I could do that for these guys, but I don't know. What do you think? I'm open to suggestions. I've been talking for too long, so I think I will end this here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I'll do more stuff with these guys. Bye!